What if the secrets of the universe weren't buried beneath ancient ruins or locked in dusty manuscripts, but whispered in the winds of an African desert, passed down by a tribe older than time itself? There is a place in Mali, near the sandstone cliffs of Bandiagara, where the Dogon people live, mysterious, spiritual, and wise. Their rituals are shrouded in secrecy, and their knowledge of the cosmos has baffled scientists for decades. This is the story of a man who traveled there, not for fame, not for research, but to find something far more personal: peace. What he discovered among the Dogon would change his soul forever. Our story begins with Daniel Harper, a 42-year-old anthropologist from Boston. He wasn't seeking adventure anymore. He'd lost his wife to illness just a year ago, and since then, life had felt hollow. One day, he came across a faded letter tucked into one of his wife's old journals. It spoke of the Dogon tribe, how she'd once dreamed of visiting them, captivated by their understanding of the Sirius star system long before telescopes even existed. So Daniel went, not as a scholar, but as a broken man chasing the last echo of the woman he loved. He arrived. Sanga, a Dogon village perched along the rocky cliffs. The air was dry, ancient, humming with a silence that felt alive. Mud brick homes hugged the landscape like they belonged to it. Children watched him curiously, elders more skeptically. Daniel was greeted by a local guide named Issa, a man in his late 30s, soft-spoken but sharp-eyed. Issa warned him gently, "The Dogon do not open their hearts to those who come only to look. You must come to listen." And so, Daniel waited, hoping for an invitation to see their fabled rituals, hoping to understand what had once fascinated his wife. After days of quiet watching, a night came when Elder Gemo, a revered Dogon spiritual leader, with skin like carved wood and eyes like moons, appeared at Daniel's hut. "You seek something," Gemo said. Daniel nodded. "I'm not even sure what it is, but I think your people know something the world has forgotten." Gemo's response was cryptic. "If you wish to see the secrets, you must first be seen, and be silent." He was tasked with spending 3 days and nights in silence, helping in the village, fetching water, sitting with the children, listening to the stories told under starlight. It was grueling, not physically, but emotionally. Without words, Daniel was left only with himself, and the ache he carried. On the 4th morning, Gemo returned. "You have begun to listen." That night, under a new moon, Daniel was blindfolded and led to a sacred cave hidden among the cliffs. Torches flickered. Drums echoed in patterns more complex than anything he'd heard. Men in Kanaga masks, representing the duality of life and death, danced in rhythmic trance. But the ritual wasn't spectacle, it was communion. Each movement was a prayer. Each beat, a connection to ancestors, stars, and the spirit world. Gemo stood at the center, chanting in a language older than written time. Then something strange happened. Daniel felt a pull, not physical, but spiritual. A wave of warmth filled his chest as if someone, or something, had touched him. In the flicker of torchlight, he thought he saw his wife, not as a ghost, but as a presence, smiling. Tears streamed down his face, but no one mocked. Gemo placed a hand on his shoulder. "She hears you." Later that night, Gemo explained the truth of the ritual. "We do not speak to the stars. We remember that we are of them. What you felt tonight, it was not magic. It was memory. Your spirit, remembering its origin. The Dogon, he said, believed the soul is not separate from the universe. It is part of it. And grief? Grief is love trying to find its way home. Daniel didn't need scientific explanations anymore. In that cave, he'd experienced something purer than proof, a reunion of heart, soul, and the eternal. Weeks later, Daniel left the Dogon village forever changed. He no longer chased knowledge to explain the world. He sought it to understand. His place in it. Back home, he published no papers, he gave no lectures. But he told one story. The story of how silence, spirit, and ancient wisdom had healed a broken man. He built a quiet garden. At the center, he placed a stone carved with Dogon symbols. And every evening he would sit beneath the stars. Not to watch, but to listen. We live in a world overflowing with information, but how much of it speaks to the soul? The Dogon people remind us that truth isn't always in data or words. Sometimes it's in rhythm, in silence, in spirit. That love never leaves, it only changes form, and that if we truly listen, the universe listens back.